Hello, and welcome to another video. Today, I am back with my last few play boosters from Murders at Karlov Manor. And with the Outlaws of Thunder Junction pre-release coming up, I thought we could get in some sealed deck practice by using up these last few packs. Let's get started. I'm going to start by first opening up all the packs so we can get that portion out of the way, and then I'll go back through and look through all the cards. All right. So let's go through and start sorting them by color, except for the rares, which I will set aside, and we can look at those a bit more closely. I apologize for all of the glare that's going on here. I try to avoid it as best I can, but it's unfortunately a bit of a constraint in the space that I'm in, so kind of is what it is. But anyway, let's go through and take a look at the rares. So we've got Propht's Eidetic Memory, 1 in a blue for a legendary enchantment that draws you a card and gives you no maximum hand size. And then at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've drawn more than 1 card this turn, put X +1/+1 counters on target creature, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn -1. We've got Vannifar, Evolved Enigma, a 4-mana 3/4 legendary creature that, at the beginning of combat on your turn, you can cloak a card from your hand, or put a +1/+1 counter on each colorless creature you control. Audience with Tristani, a 3-mana sorcery that makes a 0/1 plant, and then draws cards equal to the number of differently named creature tokens you control. A Hedge Maze, Axebane Feryx is a 4-mana 4/4 with Death Touch, Haste, and Ward. Lamplight Phoenix is a 3-mana 3/3 with Flying, and when it dies you can exile it, and then return it to the battlefield tapped if you collect evidence 4. Tristani 3 Whispers is a 3-mana 4/4 legendary creature with 1 in a green to give a creature Death Touch, hybrid green-white to give a creature Vigilance, and then 2 in a white to give a creature Double Strike. An Underground Mortuary, and then Aurelia's Vindicator, a 4-mana 4/2 angel with Flying Lifelink, Ward 2, and Disguise. And then, when it's turned face up, you can exile up to X other target creatures from the battlefield or graveyards, and when it leaves the battlefield, return everything exiled with it to its owner's hands. So it's kind of feeling like our rares either want us to go Simic or Selesnya, or I guess we could go Bant and play almost all of them. But I think I'd like to start narrow and then build out if we need to. and I think I'm feeling like this side is much stronger. So I'd like to look at green-white first. Before we go too far, though, I am going to take a moment to look through each of the colors and see what we have for commons and uncommons, since those will make up a majority of the deck anyway. So I do think our white looked pretty good, and I believe the green was reasonable. I wasn't super impressed by blue or black, although we did have a lot of spot removal in black. And then red is kind of the outlier here, I think. There's not a lot that really pulls me into red. And our Lamplight Phoenix is a double red spell, so I feel like we would have to be pretty committed to red if we were gonna run it. So let's start with green-white and see how it ends up. I'm not wild about some of these creatures up here, but I'll include them for now just to see what our creature density looks like. And hopefully we can afford to make some cuts. I think I'll hold off on Audience with Tristani right now, because I don't really think I'm making any other creature tokens, so I don't know if it's really worth it. Although for 3 mana, you do at least get a blocker and draw a card. So yeah, maybe I will run it actually. So that is 22 cards. I'm wondering if we can fit Vanifar in here. We don't have a ton of disguise in our deck natively, but there are plenty of creatures that we can cloak. and then put counters on before flipping up. So I think that would make a lot of sense to run in this deck. We even have the hedge maze to go with it. And maybe it even makes our Aurelia's Vindicator a little less suspicious. Maybe our opponents aren't necessarily thinking about what disguise creatures we could have in white. If we're just cloaking a bunch of things anyway. I don't know. Maybe that's a little far-fetched, but anyway, I think I'm pretty happy with this. We could even think about going down to 16 lands and maybe adding in another blue spell. We could get this one. I was maybe thinking Dramatic Accusation or Reasonable Doubt. We do also have Push in white, or Fuss and Bother. That might actually go kind of well in here, and would give us more types of tokens for Audience with Tristani. So that is definitely something we can think about. And these are all at least decent options for our sideboard. So depending on what our opponent is doing, we've got some pretty viable options to board in. But, of course, I am curious to hear what you think. Make sure you leave a comment with your thoughts, and I would love to talk with you. But I accidentally left my lands in another room, so I will leave it here today. This was really fun, and I'm really looking forward to getting into Outlaws of Thunder Junction and building some sealed decks with that set. If you are going out to a pre-release this weekend, I hope you have so much fun, and I want to hear all about how your deck came out and how your games went. Was there anything that surprised you about any of the cards? Did you pull anything awesome in your pool? I'm always here to talk about that down in the comments. But that will wrap up the video for today. If you enjoy my content, I would so appreciate if you would hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already. It truly means the world to me, and I will be back every Monday and Friday with new Magic the Gathering ASMR videos. As always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support, and I hope you have a wonderful day.